Welcome back to the series of sessions on C++ for the beginners. Today we are moving on to session 3. Here we will be discussing operators, statements and conditional statements. First of all, let us see what are operators. Operators are special symbols that are used to operate on a set of variables. Let us see the different categories of operators used in C++. The first one is arithmetic operators, then assignment operators, relational operators, logical operators, and bitwise operators. Let us see each of them in detail. Arithmetic operators. They are very commonly used by us. They include additional operator, subtraction operator, multiplication operator, division operator. These four are very much common to us. When we want to add two numbers, what we do is, if say 2 and 3 are the two numbers, means we will be writing 2 plus 3. Similarly, in C++, we will be storing those data in variables. So, those numbers 2 and 3 are initially stored to the variables x and y, and if we want to add those numbers, we will be adding those variables. That is, we will be writing x plus y. Similarly, we can subtract, multiplicate and divide. In addition to these four operators, we have modulus operator in C++, which will be returning the remainder. Say if x is 5 and y is 2, x percentage y will be returning 1. That is 5 percentage 2 means 5 will be divided with 2 and the remainder 1 will be returned. Okay, that is modulus operator particularly used in C++. Now we have increment and decrement operators. Increment operator is represented using two plus symbols and decrement operator using two minus symbols. It is similar to the case of x equal to x plus 1. That is plus plus x is similar to x equal to x plus 1. If we want to add 1 to a particular variable, we will be writing x equal to x plus 1. That can be written in a simple manner as plus plus x. Okay. In addition to that, we can write it as x plus plus also. In functioning, there is a slight difference between plus plus x and x plus plus. However, you can use any one of the type, increment and decrement operator. Now we are moving on to assignment operator. Assignment operator is equal to, when we want to assign something to something other, we will be using the assignment operator. That is, if we have example a equal to 3, 3 is assigned to the variable a. Then we see b equal to a, means what? The number stored in a is assigned to b. Now a and b contains the number 3. A and B are the memory locations and its names. A contains 3 initially. When we write B equal to 3, B contains the value that is stored in A, that is 3. So now A and B contains 3. The third statement we have written is C equal to A plus B. A contains 3, B contains 3. So when A and B are added, we get 6 and 6 will be stored to C. Okay. Now we have the shorthand assignment operators. Assignment operator is the equal to symbol. In shorthand assignment operator, it can be written in different ways as shown in here. Plus equal to is a shorthand assignment operator. That is similar to x equal to x plus 3. When we want to add, say, 3 to x, what we write? X equal to x plus 3. That can be also written as x plus equal to 3 using the shorthand assignment operator. What is the use of shorthand assignment operator? When we write x equal to x plus 3, there are 5 keystrokes. X equal to x plus 3. But when we use shorthand operator, we need to write only 4 keystrokes. That is x plus equal to 3. So that is the advantage. Similar to plus equal to, you can use minus equal to, into equal to, divided by equal to, and also modulus equal to operators. Now we are moving on to relational operator. Relational operators are used to compare two values of variables. if we want to compare two memory locations to check whether they are equal to or greater than or not equal to or whatever it is, you can use the relational operators. If we want to check whether two variables are equal, you have to use double equal to. That is x double equal to y in combination with if will be checking whether x is equal to y. Similarly, we have not equal to, greater than, less than, greater than equal to, less than or equal to. Generally, all these relation operators are used in combination with the if conditional statement. Okay, now we are moving on to the logical operator. Logical operators are used to logically relate two variables or values. As shown here, you can see that if we want to check whether both the conditions are satisfied or any one of the conditions are satisfied, or we want to get the negation of a particular condition, we can go for the logical operators. Here we have an logical AND operator, which is two ampersand symbols on the keyword, which is used to logically relate x less than or equal to 5 as well as x less than or equal to 10. It returns true if both the statements are true. Whereas logical OR returns true if one of the statement is true, and logical NOT reverse the result. And if the particular condition gives you true, if you put not, the condition will return a false value. Okay, that is about logical operators, logical AND, logical OR, and logical NOT. Now we will see bitwise operators. They are not very commonly used, but you need to understand that C++ has a facility of operation in the bitwise also. First of all, let us see bitwise AND, which takes two numbers as operands and does AND operation. The result of AND is 1 only if both bits are 1. The result of AND will be 1 if both the bits are 1. Then we have bitwise OR. The result of OR is 1 if any one of the bit is 1. Then we have bitwise XOR. Here the result of XOR is 1 if two bits are different. Then we have left shift as well as right shift. In the right shift, the bits of the first operand is shifted based on the second operator. Okay, so these are not generally used because the manipulation is happening at the bitwise level. We have seen that in an integer we are using 4 bytes, that means 32 bits. In each bit there will be ones and zeros. The combination of ones and zeros represents a number. Here we are manipulating at the bit level, that is at the ones and zero level. That is very complicated and not easy for an ordinary user to understand. So we will not be generally using it, but we understand that the C++ has the capacity to do the bitwise operations. Also, for that we use bitwise AND, bitwise OR, bitwise XOR, and then left and right shift operators. Then, based on the number of operands, we can say that operators can be classified as unary operator, binary operator, and ternary operator. Most of the operators are binary operators like arithmetic, relational, logical, bitwise, and assignment operators are binary operators. That means on both the side of the operator we have operands. Whereas we have seen plus plus x and minus minus x, there only on one side of the operator we have the operand, so we call it as unary operator. Then we have another category called ternary operator, in which we will be using 3 operands. That we will be deal in detail after studying the if conditions. Okay, so understand that based on the operands we have unary operators as well as binary operators, and there is a special type called the ternary operators which use 3 operands. Now we are moving on to statements. What is a statement? A statement is a complete instruction given to a computer. There are different types of statements. The first one is declaration statements. When we want to declare a variable, we use declaration statement. For example, int a is a declaration statement where a is declared to store the data of type integer. Okay, next one is expression statement. Here what we do is we do the calculations or manipulations. Here you can see that C equal to A plus B means the values in A and B will be added and assigned to the variable called C. That is an expression statement. The third one is selection statement. Here selection is done based on a particular condition. For example, here you can see based on the condition, if A greater than B, then we will assign A to C. That is, if A is greater than B, C is equal to A means only if that particular condition is satisfied, the selection is made, we select A to be assigned to C. Then we have jump statement. Jump statement is used to jump out of a group of statements. Here, based on a particular condition, we make the jumping statement break. If A is greater than B, we will be breaking out of the group of statements. There are other similar jumping statements like continue, return, go to, etc. are also can be considered as jumping statements. Now we have iteration statements. In iteration statements, we iterate or we assign continuous numbers to a particular value. Generally, it is used in looping statements. Here we can see a for loop. Here initially I is assigned to 0, then it will be incremented one by one using the incrementation statement I plus plus. Okay, and based on that, we will be doing the remaining statements associated with the for loop. So iterations means we will be changing a particular value again and again. There are other iteration statements such as while, do while, etc. All those things we will be dealing in detail later. Then a compound statement. A compound statement means more than one statement is existing together in a statement. Here you can see that in this if condition, if A is greater than B, C is equal to A, else C is equal to B. So C is equal to A is a simple expression statement. Similarly, C is equal to B is also a simple expression statement. They are brought together using an if-else condition. So it becomes a compound statement. So there are different types of statements. Depending upon our need, we can use any one of them. Now we are moving on to conditional statements. There are different types of conditional statements possible. The first one is simple if condition. So we will be having a condition as we have seen, say A greater than B can be a condition. So we put that particular condition inside the if, and if that particular condition is satisfied, only the true group of statements will be executed. Okay, in the next category we have if else. So if this particular condition is true, this true block will be executed. If it is false, the else and the else block will be executed. Now we have the third category. Here we have n number of conditions. If condition 1, the first condition is true, the true block will be executed. Else we have another condition. Then we will write it as else space if and the second condition. If the second condition is true, the next true block will be executed and go on. We can have any number of else if conditions. And finally, we have an else condition. If all the above conditions are false, the else condition will be executed. Now moving on to the nested if condition. It is similar to the previous if or if else or if else if conditions. Inside the true block or the false block, we have another set of if condition. That is, a particular if condition is nested inside another if condition. That is nested if. Now we are moving on to the switch. It is very similar to the if else condition, but it appears different. So here the keyword switch is used, and inside that we use an expression, and the value of the expression will be used in the case. If the value of the expression is 1, case 1 will be executed. If it is 2, case 2 will be executed. If the value is 3, case 3 will be executed. After each case, a break keyword is used to jump out of the particular loop. Okay, so any one of the case will be executed based on the expression. Now, as we have discussed earlier, we shall compare a conditional statement and a ternary operator. A simple conditional statement we all know. If a particular condition say A greater than B, we are doing a set of expressions. Here it is C is equal to A. Else, if this condition is false, we will be doing a set of another conditions, another statements, that is C is equal to B. These set of statements can be simplified and written using a ternary operator. You can see that we have written a set of lines in the simple conditional statement that can be replaced using a single line. Here you can write C is equal to A greater than B question mark A colon B. Question mark and colon are the ternary operator. A ternary operator has three operands. One before the question mark, that is A greater than B. One after the question mark and before the colon, that is in between the question mark and colon. We have the second operator, that is second operand, that is A. Then after the colon and before the semicolon, in between colon and semicolon, we have the third operand, that is B. Okay, so the ternary operator has three operands, A greater than B, A and B. It works very similar to the simple conditional statement. So here if is not written, instead we write the condition, then write A, that is if the condition is true, C will be assigned to A. If the condition is false, C will get the value from B. Okay, so this is a very simple type of operator. The only thing is you need to understand well and use it. If you use a ternary operator, you can save a lot of statements. You can write it in a very precise manner. Okay, so conditional statement and the ternary operator, you just understand and do it so that it will be very simple in using. Okay, so ternary operator has three operands and its symbol is question mark and colon. That is all about today's sessions. We have discussed operators, statements and conditional statements. Thank you.